So you probably have never done this before. Therefore, I would like to do this for you. Let's start with the quadratic formula and we'll go back to the quadratic equation. Here we go. First, x is equal to this, and we have a on the bottom, so a cannot be equal to 0. And let's just multiply both sides by 2a. So we have 2ax is equal to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. And let me just add b to both sides. So we have 2ax plus b is equal to plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. Now, let's go ahead and get rid of the square root. To do so, we will square both sides. So if we expand this, remember we take the first term and we square that. So 2 squared gives us 4, a square that, and also x squared. And then we add 2 times this and that. 2 times 2, we have the 4, and then a, b, and then x. And lastly, we add b squared. Okay, and then on the right hand side, plus or minus is square, then well, it will be positive either way. And then square and square root cancel, so we just have b squared minus 4ac. Now notice we have b squared on both sides. So of course, if you subtract b squared from both sides, they will get rid of each other. And then we can bring this to the other side, and we get 4a squared x squared plus 4abx plus 4ac is equal to 0. Now, what do we do next? Well, it's almost the standard form of the quadratic equation, but notice we have 4 right here, and also everybody has an a, and remember a is not equal to 0 because otherwise you don't get a quadratic equation. Let's just divide everybody by 4a. And technically I will also have to do it to the right hand side as well. Now this divided by just out, and then a squared over a is just a, and then x squared, and then plus they cancel, we have just bx, and then they cancel, we have plus c, and that's equal to 0 divided by that, which is equal to 0. Therefore, you can see that if you start with the quadratic formula, yes, you can go back to the quadratic equation. Okay, I just want to make a quick remark. If you start with the quadratic equation and you want to prove the quadratic formula, of course you can just go backwards. And we see that from here to here, it's just we multiply this equation by 4a, and then we get this. And then move this to the other side, and we add b squared to both sides. And we see this right here is a very nice perfect square. And then we can just continue, and we'll end up with that very nicely. So this also explains why sometimes when you have a quadratic equation, if you multiply everybody by 4a, it might be easier to complete the square. That's it.